Okay, welcome back to Discourse. Today we have a special guest, Brayfire89. Today we're going to talk about socialism and capitalism, immigration, SpaceX / the future of space travel. So we're just going to hop straight on to one of the first topics, and we're going to start with immigration. How y'all feel about immigration, bruh?
Ooh, bro.
Let's start. Let's how do you feel about immigration, whether it be illegal immigration, legal immigration? Do you think that the amount of immigrants that we're taking in should be increased, decreased,
Should be
etc.?
completely open.
It
I
should
don't
be
know.
completely
Really?
open. How about
I
you,
don't
Lucas?
accept-
How
Like,
about
you should
you,
limit
Lucas?
criminals.
How about you, Anther?
Like, to be honest, I really like. I mean, I personally, I am an immigrant. Okay, like, all right, get it out of the way. I
Penis.
really
From
care.
where?
It depends on the people that want to come here. If they stop coming,
Facts, bro.
fine. If they keep coming, I don't. That's fine with me too.
How do you feel? Okay. How do you feel about it, Braden?
I don't know the current, I haven't dived deep into enough to the current immigration system and how it works. So I'm not sure if we have too much right now, too less. I'm not really sure.
I gotta go with Jeff. I'm pretty much for open borders.
So that's where I disagree.
Okay.
Right.
Wait.
Why do you disagree?
If
Okay,
we
go
have
ahead.
if we have open borders, right?
Oh, wait. Let's classify our terms first before we go ahead. By open borders, I imagine what me and Jeff can both agree is allowing pretty much anybody in, except like people that we know are criminals, obviously, like people that are smuggling contraband and shit like that in. But beyond that, pretty much allow everybody in or out.
Okay.
How Braden?
Okay,
But so what's the issue here?
So open borders. You mean how well would these borders still be protected? Because that's I care about security, so we know who's coming in and coming out. That's
I don't really care so much about security. I mean, like, there's a bunch of statistics to suggest that I can pull up the study right now that communities with higher illegal immigrant populations have lower crime rates. Which is let me go find it.
Wait, legal immigrants
Their
or
incentive to
illegal
get here
immigrants?
is so
Illegal
high
immigrants.
that they do it illegally.
Beyond the illegal part of them.
Well, how would they do a poll? How would they do a poll of illegal immigrants?
So you gather people from the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
You ask them if they are illegal immigrants.
And they would respond truthfully.
Yeah, and like there are a bunch. Whoa, there are a bunch of like studies like that don't make you go to the police. It's been done with marijuana.
Yeah, I know.
And the same thing goes for illegal immigrants. Let me go find it. Metro areas with more undocumented immigrants, there's a slight decrease in violent crime and property crime. It looks like based on the amount of undocumented.
Is that for the first generation? What about generations to come from that?
So the funny thing is that I don't know about illegal immigrants, but as for legal immigrants, their crime rate actually goes up because they get more assimilated to American culture.
Yeah.
Which has more crime.
Mm-hmm.
So they get assimilated. So and when it comes to like the economic side of immigration, there's really nothing to back up the idea that they're detrimental to our economy. Like every economist will tell you that they're a net benefit. They contribute way more than they take from welfare or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay. So again, I agree that we should let everyone, but known criminals in, because like you said, they're if your studies are true, which from what I've seen they are, that they provide economic value instead of they provide value. So what I'm concerned about is when people say open borders, my head jumps to like the fact that it says open. So
yeah, it's not a pretty name, but I mean, like, it's the most, like, it's the same thing with like abolish the police, right? Where it's like that's a really bad name for what we want to do, but when you actually look into it, it's not
right, so
just abolish the police. It's then like replace it with a bunch of other things that we hope. But but I think that open borders is a really bad term. I heard but I think that it is pretty much like I'm for the freedom of movement of like I want to allow people to move wherever they want and
yeah.
for
So
criminals to be locked up.
I'm fine with that border policy. I'm just concerned about how like we enforce that border policy because I don't like because like we need some sort of like just because like I want a system where that actually is followed. You know what I'm saying? So like
How do you enforce open borders?
And I believe
I'm saying,
well, I think like the drug shit and the sex trafficking shit is really like so those are the two main problems that people have when they talk about open borders, but if we were to but studies in like oh fuck I let me
There would
pull
still
the
be
numbers up.
screenings and stuff.
Yeah, there would still be screenings, and we would want as many people to be like legal immigrants. But what I'm saying is, what we're calling for is, is basically allowing immigration and then making sure that illegal immigrants can easily make themselves as legal as possible and not face like any charges or anything like that.
well, I think they were breaking law. So I
mean, they're breaking.
yeah,
They're breaking the law of coming into our country without papers. Like, I think that if we allow them to just get legal citizenship or whatever, not
they
citizenship.
can get it, but I still think they should be punished because they broke the law.
But why is that law important? It's not like they
it
did
is
anything
if
bad.
you don't because it's at that point that was the law and people thought that law was good. That's why it was a law in the first place, right? So if we say we don't follow that law, then that kind of sets a standard.
But I'm saying we shouldn't have that law. I'm saying that the law on illegal immigration. I think that people should be allowed to come across the borders as they wish, and any sort of criminal should absolutely be caught, and we should absolutely try to encourage and incentivize people to come to ports of entry, but I think that we shouldn't demonize people for coming
So
from
this is
somewhere that
my
isn't a port
point
of
of view,
entry,
right? So I'm not like so I don't think we should like so it should not be a harsh punishment because we're revisiting this law and realizing that it's a bad law and we should change it, right? Change how immigration works. But the punishment should still be there because it was the fact that a law was broken, not because they crossed border like illegally because a law was
What
broken.
punishment do you have
So
in
even
mind?
if we
But
change
what
law, the law
But, like,
it was illegal immigration at the time. You know what I'm saying?
oh, I don't
Yeah, but if the law
know
is-
about
if the
that.
law
Like,
is
I think that
removed.
these people haven't done anything. Most of these people, at least, not like criminals. Obviously, criminals should be put in jail, obviously, but like the majority of people should be allowed to. I don't see there being any reason. I get the idea that they broke the law, but I don't think that law should be recognized as valid if it isn't.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Man.
no,
It's like,
but
dude,
so-
that man is jaywalking. Okay, arrest him.
okay, so
10 years from jail.
I
Like,
think we need to move on.
but
well,
so
yeah.
say
Okay, go ahead.
I mean I can't really think of a good comparison because
Yeah, it's a difficult comparison.
because they are like because they're disobeying with the American government and a law, whether they think it's right or not, they're still disobeying from the system that was set in place by Americans, right?
Yeah, but I don't really believe like in that system, and I think that when we get rid of that system, we shouldn't punish people. That means that we've acknowledged that
people further, but
system was bad, right?
We shouldn't punish people further, but still the fact that say someone came in as a legal immigrant, I would be mad at them because they came in. I would be mad at them because they broke a law. They knew that they are willingly breaking a law. Whether they were a refugee or not is different, but they were.
Yeah. Like asylum and refugee. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about like people coming across the border with not claiming asylum, etc. But I don't recognize that law as just or valid, right? I don't see so why should I want to enforce it, right? Like
it's not going to be enforced further, but the fact is that they broke the law. So the act of breaking the law
while it was a law, you want those
we have to hold like a standard. Yeah, we have to hold a standard where if
and
a
I
law
think
is broken,
and I think that we should hold a standard, but like so I'm not really sure what your position is. Is your position that we should like put illegals in jail now and then decriminalize illegal immigration after, or like I don't get your position.
I'm pretty sure that's
I don't think there should be like a major freaking like sentence for these people.
Yeah, but
we think it was wrong and we revisited it. But I think there should be some action taken, whether it's jail time or some like something, I think something has to be done.
Like public service or something.
Breaking the law, we have to hold a standard that breaking the law is bad, whether you think personally as an individual it's right or wrong.
But when the United States, it says, okay, that law was not good and we have removed that law, why should people be punished for breaking a law that no longer exists?
Because they willingly knew they were breaking a law.
So you're saying because they broke it while it was a law.
Yeah.
Once it's no longer a law, they should still be charged.
Oh man, bro, we just got rid of racism. All right, time to be racist.
I don't think they can be charged at that point.
Yeah, like.
Alright, because we keep disagreeing and going to the same points. Anthony, how is this racist? What?
Do you want to talk about SpaceX or? Okay.
It's like you. It's like you.
So,
I'll just let Anthony talk for a second. What?
Yeah. Go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah. So, like, Brayden, what you're saying to me is like, you abolish slavery, and immediately after you start like punishing people that like were slaves. That's how it sounds.
There's a difference.
No, he's saying abolish slavery and then prosecute the people that own slaves.
Yeah, prosecute people that become slaves. That's what I'm trying.
Wait, what are you saying?
No, the other way around. No, never mind.
Yeah.
I think slavery and illegal immigration. I believe slavery is a crime against humanity. I don't believe immigration to a different country is a crime against humanity.
Oh, yeah, all right.
But at least I'm not saying jail time. I'm saying these people should be taught something should be done
to learn a lesson.
Rehab or something. Okay.
Community service.
SpaceX. I'll just go in the same order. Jeff, how you feel about it?
Well, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, it was a big moment for privatized space travel. NASA buying tickets on Falcon Heavy.
Yeah.
Falcon 9, whatever it was.
Yeah.
To go to the International Space Station.
How do you feel about SpaceX and like private space travel?
SpaceX?
Not SpaceX.
For real.
Tell us about both.
To be honest, regardless of like what you think about them, I'm just glad, that they're going to space, for the first time, like at least America. Like satellite mission, like in a while.
Wait, first time or wait? Are you high?
No, he means privatized. He means privatized.
Okay. Wait, what?
First time in a while.
Okay. First time in a while. Okay.
Okay.
Brayden.
Brayden, shut up.
I had a moment. I was like, wait, is this man really saying the first time?
Let him speak.
First time in a while.
All right, Brayden. How are you feeling about it?
Is gonna say something.
So I feel how privatization versus government should work is the government should definitely be the first one to do like any major venture. Like they were the first ones. They were going into Russia in the for the race for space, right?
Yeah.
Going
Like,
into
I feel
Russia.
that government
Going
should-
to Russia, yeah, bro. Yeah.
they're going into Russia in the space space race, and I feel the government should be the first to do anything because obviously private organizations are different from government in the way that they have a motive to make money. So if they don't have a structure set in place where how that money is made, and like then they don't have they can't be the ones to set that precedent, right? I think the government.
Can I
should
say something?
be the
Oh,
one.
Brayden,
Yeah, go ahead.
Private companies have the
Okay,
ability to make these things cheaper. Like for example, SpaceX was it was like crazy. It was like really really cheap compared to the NASA launches.
Oh,
I'm gonna call you a communist.
Yeah, and also I feel like
yeah.
that's how I feel.
I think that was I think that the launch when was it?
3 weeks ago. Like,
Was it really that long ago? No, it was 6 days ago, bruh.
No, it
Wait,
wasn't.
no. That was a Starlink mission. Hold up.
that was 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Uh, no, it was May 30th. Oh wow, that's like yeah, he was right. It's like 3 days ago. Holy shit. Anyway, but I think that it was definitely a really cool moment, and I love the exploration of space. I think that it's absolutely something that needs to be done for the further expansion of humanity. I don't know if corporations and private companies are the best way to do it. I will say that they are probably better at bringing down costs. However, I think that that's one of their only benefits. I think that
Well, okay.
the cost, like, I don't think that we should entrust something that's only goal is to make money with the expansion of the human race into the
No.
outer reaches of the like
I get that,
galaxy and stuff.
but at the same time, if we want to see like major space travel during our lifetime, I don't agree with everything SpaceX does. You know, they definitely can be an evil corporation, but they innovate at a faster rate than the government under normal circumstances. It's just shown.
But
Unless
I mean,
there's like a massive space race happening.
then you build a monopoly, which they are building, and their satellite prices have
They're already there.
yeah, they're building a monopoly in space, and I think that is absolutely the wrong way that I think we should not be going.
Well, we have the laws in space. I think I read that
laws in space.
like Antarctica, there's not really much. Well, there is ownership of Antarctica through countries, but
like nobody owns
majority
space.
of countries. It was made an agreement that there should be no ownership of anything in space. Like correct?
Let me check that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, but that's still by countries. I don't know about corporations because like okay, so my main issue is that like a corporation that I just really have an issue with the profit motive. Like their goal is not to expand humanity, it's just to milk space for money.
I get that, but they are expanding.
No, wait. I will say, however, that many like engineers and shit that they don't have the profit motive. But I guarantee you that Tesla, not SpaceX, which is owned by shareholders, has a massive profit motive because a company's full
that profit motive will
is to
drive innovation.
shareholders. And I think that a profit motive can drive innovation, but I think that
It has.
such innovation can also be done on a government and public level.
Wait, can I
It can, but it's not happening.
But look at MIT though.
Wait, can I
Like
say
they
real quick
have done
about the one thing?
so much good shit for
Oh yeah,
robotics.
Boston
Alright, wait,
Dynamics.
So here's the thing, though. Not so you can look at it like this. Say I don't know Elon Musk's head, right? But if you look at it from this, say I was a guy, right, and I wanted to, like you said, Devin, expand space exploration and actually help humanity. Maybe that was my sole purpose, and that was like my personal thing, right?
Sure.
And in order to do that, I needed money and I needed a workforce because I couldn't start my own government and have government funding.
You
right?
can join NASA, or you can.
But I
petition-
couldn't speed up the innovation of that. I couldn't have control.
Absolutely, you could. If you
No,
had
he
like,
did. What if he didn't
you
want
had,
to?
like,
He wanted to start his
strong
own.
ideas. If you had strong ideas about the exploration of space, if you knew what you were headed towards, then you should go to NASA and bring up these ideas. If you have some
But
like
that's-
genius idea or whatever, like I just don't understand why
What are the chances of
SpaceX,
that's gonna
why,
change?
why
Devin, it's not
SpaceX
wrong
is
to go into the private
necessary.
sector and innovate. He
Well,
doesn't have to join
I don't
NASA.
think I don't know about that because once more these companies' objectives are money above anything else.
I love
And-
I don't think.
Well,
I
you
don't.
need
I
money
think that.
to
I think
further
that's
the
not
company.
true.
No, because
How else are you gonna
Maybe a company
expand?
has an idea.
if their objective isn't money, then shareholders and stockholders won't want to invest.
No. The
So
company
companies
produces
And they
money.
won't grow.
The company itself. Let's say this. The company
Okay.
itself is the point of a company is to produce money. But the point of, like, say the CEOs or like the company, the workforce's point could be something else. Their ideas could be something else. Money is the point of the company because that's like the format of the company is to produce money.
Yeah, exactly. And
No,
that's
but the ideas
a
of the
really big
workforce
issue
and
that
the
I have.
product they're producing cannot be only mainly for money. Like obviously
That is the objective of the company, though. You already conceded that.
No, but I'm saying Elon. People, just because they started a company, it couldn't have been solely. It doesn't have to be solely for money. Maybe the company's infrastructure, the idea of a company, the philosophical idea of a company is to make a profit. But when someone's starting a company, their goal could be to explore everything, but they need money to do that. So their company produces money.
I agree with you, but if you have like some genius idea or you want to expand into space exploration, then there are so many other things that you can do rather than going into the private sector. I don't really care. I do care, but I just don't view the privatization of space as necessary or good.
I definitely, yeah, it's
So,
not.
Kevin,
I
good,
don't
but-
view it as necessary when you have when we already have a space program that's already seen massive achievements and
Devin, we're
already
not arguing
seen,
with you.
like, massive innovation.
I think I
there
was
are
speaking on
thousands
behalf of us when
of
we say we
brilliant
just.
people at NASA, right? There are thousands of engineers, brilliant people with brilliant ideas, like you said. But
Yeah.
NASA has not done the things that SpaceX has done. Why?
Because they don't have
NASA does not have the
Because they
money,
don't have money.
exactly.
No.
and we can't change that. So we go into the private sector and create a company that has
What I
more
am
money.
advocating for is that rather than viewing the private sector as our only way to expand into space, we should instead look to expand our public sector, which is completely accountable to the people. This is another problem that I have, is that when you have privatization of space, none of it is accountable to the people, right? No, none of it is
Mhm.
accountable to the people that it's affecting, right? Like those astronauts are not they will probably get to make decisions on what they're doing up there, but when it comes down to it, they're not the ones in charge. And
Wait, no, they were
and the,
NASA. They
and
were
the
NASA
people that are
astronauts.
What about
what?
the difference between
But
the?
these things are directly influenceable. Like NASA and other public sector institutions are influenceable by the people. They are, or at least they're like this is the issue that I have, is that there is no accountability that these things have, and
There's accountability. It's like law. Say to follow laws that
Yeah, but-
regulate the companies.
yeah, but regulation isn't telling a company what to do, it's telling a company what it can't do, right? Like
Yeah.
that is like what I want to do is whoa.
Let him finish.
Hold up, guys.
Yeah, bro.
Okay. Okay. So I don't see any accountability when it comes to the privatization of space, whereas I do see it when you come to the public sector, because the government is directly
Sorry to interrupt, but
influenceable
no
by the
school.
people.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's the first day of summer.
Oh shit!
It's
It
like
is.
our 8th day.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's the first day.
Oh yeah.
No, it's the
Congratulations.
summer equinox. Or...
You know what I fucking mean, bro. Shut up.
Oh, I didn't know what you meant.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, my issue, like, if I would be much more for the privatization of space if privatization wasn't so private, if power wasn't vested in a single person or a small group of people. And
Yeah.
that's publicization of space, because the public has control over things that are directly going to affect them in the future, right?
Yeah. Wait, can I ask, like, what is so bad about, like, say, SpaceX, like,
No, I don't
controlling
really,
space and then just
because they're gonna
establishing its own
You
colonies?
see why I said this? It would turn into socialism versus
'Cause-
capitalism.
Oh yeah,
No.
yeah, no. And of course I'm gonna expect that too, because any capitalist would 100% be for SpaceX, and any socialist would be against SpaceX. But I just don't see any accountability. And what we do in this country,
Accountability for what, though?
accountability and, like, control. Like, nobody has control except for Elon Musk and a handful of shareholders, right? Nobody, like, and
Yeah.
these sort of things are directly going to influence their lives, right? Like, in the future, SpaceX is going to affect not SpaceX. Space exploration is going to affect everybody, right?
Yeah.
And I think that these sort of things should be controlled by the people that they're going to affect.
Yeah,
Okay,
makes sense.
That's fair.
But at the same time, SpaceX is not just like a couple of super powerful people that can do everything. They need the people to accomplish their goals. So it's not like
and
the poor people are going to be cut out of space and space travel entirely. They're going to be needed
If people do not
by his
financially,
machine.
if people do
I
not
doubt that.
financially support
Yeah.
SpaceX, then their things will not happen.
Yeah,
so
but
people need to agree enough to buy their products.
Everybody is financially supporting SpaceX,
What?
right? Like, they're
How
like,
so?
SpaceX makes its money from satellite launches, so it's supported by companies, by other groups of people. That
NASA also bought 2 tickets on SpaceX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So the U.S. government is supporting SpaceX now. Even the U.S. government doesn't support your views,
I was
Kevin.
making a point. That doesn't
yeah,
mean
I don't like
I
the
was
U.S.
just-
government. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, NASA has
I
no
was
money.
making a point.
Because what we do in this country and many others is that we strip money from a public program, and then we say, this public program isn't working as well as it should. Let's hand it over to the private sector. And then the private sector uses it for its own money and does not give a shit what anybody has to think about it.
I know, like we have
I don't
idea
think
is bullshit.
our military budget is $850 billion.
No, I know.
Which
I think
it just shows we're preparing for
no,
war.
Devin.
We're
I
preparing
don't
to
think.
destroy
I
each
think.
other.
I think that the generalization, Devin, when you said that
That's
that
what they did in England with the railroad system. That's what they're trying to do at the schools. They're trying to do it to Social Security. Like we underfund programs and then we hand them off to the private sector and then they milk it for money because that's what the private sector is meant to do.
You saying the private companies don't give a shit about things is a generalization because
no, they don't care about people. They care about money. That's
they
their
care
objective.
about people because people
you
have
can't
money.
say that. You cannot say that the personal
They need
people that are
or
in
else
that
they will
company
not exist.
that have a say in that company do not care about the people. You can't say that because you don't know.
No, the objective as a company is to make money. Thus,
Yes,
a
the
company
objective
does
of
not.
SpaceX is not. You don't know if it's.
Oh, come on! You
No, you
can't
don't know if
say
it's
that.
You can't say
Yes.
that either. Do you know the objective of Elon Musk? Do you know the personal objective of Elon Musk?
I don't know the personal objective of Elon Musk, but I know that the objective of every company is to make money.
Yes, the company is just.
You can have multiple objectives.
Material interests. I think that he absolutely has other
If you
wants
listen
that
to his interviews, he definitely wants to help people. He doesn't want to just control everything.
I think that he wants to. I think that he probably wants to do good things. But if he really wanted to help people, then he should have. Then I think that he should be completely accountable to the people that he's supposedly helping. Because I'm totally for people helping other people. I'm totally cool with that. I just think that the people that are helping you should have some say in how they're helping you.
The thing is,
that makes sense.
These people like myself don't have knowledge into like the scientific or the space knowledge, so they can't really vote.
Them to.
Wait.
They
Just,
can't. What?
But before you try to rebut everything he says, just understand what he's saying. You can agree with him sometimes.
I understand.
I understand.
No, I get what he's saying.
Listen, it's like
I'm trying to calm it down.
like I get like where he's coming from, right? You don't gotta like rebut because we still don't know like the answers. Like we don't know what we're gonna do when we go to space. Like space is like fucking infinite.
There's not much we can do, honestly.
We can't do that much. Like
No.
To get to the nearest star, it'd take like 3,600 years or something.
yeah.
Once it becomes to like things like welfare and like things that like the people can vote on, then I think it makes sense. But if we're talking about like say,
but the people aren't experts on welfare.
No, not welfare.
No, they don't know anything about welfare, right?
Guys,
they just know that I'm gonna collect a regular check from the government, right?
No, I didn't mean welfare. That was a misuse of words. I meant like say you are colonizing the moon, right? That has an effect on people because it's people's homes, it's people's like things they're involved in. Something as high tech. Say like someone's like, all right, so we're making a scientific process here. We're gonna do a chemical reaction. So let's hold a vote, guys. Do you think we should add some sodium chloride to this, or do you think we should add some like nitrogen?
Okay, so this is like
I don't know.
I believe in like a hierarchy of expertise, I guess. Like I think that people that have more knowledge should probably have more power, but I think that power should not go unchecked like it does. Like I think that person that's saying, okay, should we put this in or this, should absolutely be allowed to say, okay, well, I'm gonna put in this. But I also think that if everybody thinks that that's gonna blow up in their face, then I think that they should have some say in that, right?
I definitely think there should be higher regulations on private companies because there's a lot of expectation that goes on.
That's not control.
Guys, do you know that the minimum crew for a colony ship has to be 98 people to ensure genetic diversity?
I thought it was 22.
Wait,
no,
what?
it's 98 now. For like a 3,000-year mission.
Oh, okay. Well, guys, that wraps up today's episode of Discourse. You can check out some other videos on the left and right of the screen. We kind of got to socialism versus capitalism. We'll eventually get to it. We'll see.